I'm gonna even start with like my name. How about that?
Let's go with that. Yeah.
So like
Wherever
my
your
last
story
name,
starts.
like I don't care. I'll put it out. My last name is Glover, like Danny Glover. You know, Childish Gambino. His last name is Glover. So like the dynasty of having a last name, I noticed that there's so many different levels in my name, like G-Lover, Lover, G, you know, and like love. And so to me, love is universal. I've taken a lot of losses in my life, and I just remember like having a job. And, like, everybody at work was like, yo, G-Lover, G-Lover. And it just was so catchy after that. And so, like, I've always had this big heart just with a G in it, G in the middle. And, like, I just wanted to make my name just as stamped G-Lover. There's no other. It's only me. Feel me? So
I love that. I got a big heart with a G in the middle.
Got a big heart with a G in it.
That's tight as hell.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And so, like, how I even got into the hip-hop, I always did music. Like, music was a thing for me. Yeah. Even middle school, high school, I was in band. Just listening to different artists like Biggie, Jay-Z. I grew up on Kanye West, Jadakiss, Eminem. I love Eminem.
My guy.
So listening to all these different artists, even down to Rockstar and Maroon 5 and all these people incorporating it. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to be a DJ one day. I'm gonna be a DJ. And you ask a kid, ask a kid what they want to be growing up. They're probably like, yo, police officer, lawyer, nurse. You know, like, nah, I want to be somebody in the industry, like DJ, business, A&R. Like, that's where my mind is right now.
Yeah,
so
wow,
like,
that's wild. Even at a young age, because when I was a young kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. For
yeah,
sure.
see,
I
like,
was going to
you
space.
can still be an astronaut though. Like,
sometimes I feel like I'm in space and I'm not even really there. I don't
got
know
time though.
I don't
you
know
got
if I
time.
need to be an astronaut to go to space.
Nah,
sometimes.
definitely.
I'll be lifted.
Yeah. But yeah, so like hip hop to me is just bringing awareness to like politics and what's going on like culturally. And I think that, you know, no shade to anybody that's making any music out there. I think that we've kind of derived from that and coming into the, you know, 2021, 2022, we got to bring that feel back, that real hip hop feel, like letting people know what it is versus what it's been. Bringing awareness to mental health, and that's the wave I'm on when it comes to hip hop. And I think that's so different. My pronouns are her, she, hers, and being a woman in the industry could be hard a lot of times because, like, there's not a lot of dominant female DJs out there. So, you know, this goes out to all the female DJs that's trying to do their thing. Like, yo, be you, be true, and stand up for what you want. Feel me?
You know what? Cheers to that as well. You know why?
Word.
Because I forgot something. I got to tell everybody. This is the first female on Cypher. This is the first.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
First woman on my show. So that deserves that's some respect because you know what? Here's the thing that I find one of the there's two parts about running Cypher that's really tough. The first one is finding artists that actually want to come tell their story. Yeah. You know, who I also think have an interesting story to tell. Right? It's got to match. Yeah. And then also like the other hard part is just like the marketing and the social media and all the bullshit that I hate that goes with it.
Yeah, me too.
But like, I think what you just said, like, it's really hard to find female artists at the same rate as finding male artists, especially in hip hop. So having that representation that you kind of stand for is huge. You know?
And you know, like, it's a barrier. You know what I mean? Like, you know, coming into the industry as well, it's always about a look versus what it is. Like, I always wanted to talk about what's genuine, what's not genuine. And so, like, why I only work with independent artists, because, you know, there's so many barriers with independent artists, like the marketing, the consultation, the business aspect. Like, a lot of people don't know what they're doing. And, you know, sometimes as a DJ, I can help drive that and also motivate. I'm into positive affirmations. I'm into telling people, like, yo, this is where we got to be. This music is trash. This sounds good. This doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's what a DJ is versus what DJs have been.
Interesting.
I'm trying to bring that back.
All right, we're gonna get more into that.
A copy.
When you and I were talking on the phone over the weekend, and you said that you grew up in a military family.
Oh yeah, OD.
So all
everybody.
over the place. Yeah.
Everybody.
So talk about how you probably listened to a lot of different types of music as a kid.
Yeah, like it was so funny. Like we had particular days where we had to listen to particular music.
No shit.
So yeah, a lot of people don't know. I am not from New York City at all. I was born on an Air Force base in South Carolina, which is very rare. Which I knew from that moment, like when I got like 5 or 6, that I was gonna be a different type of kid. Like I was always gonna be different, just because I was not born in a regular hospital. I had probably people with Army suits and Navy suits around me while delivering me.
Yeah, you grew
up
quick.
Yeah, of course. And like my mother used to always tell me, "You're my golden child. Like you're gonna be the one." And I am the one. I believe that. So like, you know, growing up in a military family has definitely brought a lot of competence to different races, diversity, and just having an understanding of people and meeting people where they at. So like we listen to everything. Like my mom was into gospel, so I was always into gospel music. Like Kirk Franklin and all those people, and then like my dad was into the old school hip hop and like, you know, Marvin Gaye and everybody, and like, you know, he put me in like band and all this other stuff, and like from that moment being around like white people, black people, Spanish people, it helped me broaden, you know, the horizon when it came to music. So
isn't that crazy too? How like hip hop is really a combination. Hip hop is a melting pot.
Of course.
So like all those different styles probably helped you kind of come up with your hip hop style, and it all sounds and it all makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, it's kind of crazy.
My favorite thing to do is like transition. Like I don't know if you ever heard a DJ like transition, right? So like I'm huge on transition, and like anybody that knows me knows that like I will take a Lil Nas X song and I will take a Garth Brooks song, and I will blend the shit out of it like I've never blended it before. But when I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone, Mike. Like you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me nothing. And then when I'm out the zone, I'm out the zone. You know, that's just what it is. But like when I'm in the zone, you can't touch me. And so that's what I always want to be remembered. But DJing is so much more than just spinning and scratching and all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. What was it about, like, you know, kind of just like rounding out this part of your life? What was it about rap and hip hop that you clung to so much more than some of those other genres, maybe? You know?
Heartfelt things. Like people go through a lot of stuff, right? And so like we don't know what people are going through when it comes to people being on social media and showing who people think they are. Like
social media.
Me too. I hate it. I mean, like. So what really got me interested in learning about the culture, like I'm going back to politics. I am a big history person. Anybody could tell you, like my favorite line is, let me give you a history lesson, because like we need to know what's going on around us.
I like that.
I sucked in math.
I like that.
I sucked in math. So I love history. Like I love history. And so like bringing awareness is what really got me cultivated into the hip hop culture. And I think that like, you know, I've heard some really good independent artists that talk about like, yo, what I'm going through right now and what's going on in the world. And I am going to drop a new project. So I definitely going to put you on to that in a little bit. But
I can't wait.
Definitely going to have a lot of current things that's going on. And so like, what's driven me is just knowing what's genuine. Like I just want to be genuine all across the board.
Yeah.